My name is Francis, and I have always wanted to tell this story to the whole world because it is a happy story and it may help others to understand themselves and to be strong enough to carry through the courage of their convictions. I never knew my father. He ran off with his secretary when I was just a few months old. He had a reasonably good job and through the court's mother obtained a good settlement. This was the house and her car and a good monthly allowance, enabling us to live comfortably without her having to work so that she could concentrate on bringing me up. She enjoyed being a mother and loved me with a passion so strong she had no time for any other men in her life. That did not prevent her always being smartly and fashionably dressed. She looked after her hair with a passion and had a weekly appointment with a salon and would never dream of leaving the house without her makeup properly done. Her hands were carefully manicured and I can never remember her without nail varnish. I was carefully brought up and never spoiled. I went to a good school. Mother made certain I was polite and well-mannered. She also saw that, like her, I was well-groomed, clothes clean and well-pressed, tie neatly tied, shoes always highly polished. She taught me to take a pride in my appearance, and I showered at least once a day and carefully looked after my stunning blonde hair, including regular visits to a stylist. Although my body hair was slight and blonde, when I started growing facial hair I had to closely shave every day. Mother set stern rules and they had to be obeyed. Like all young boys, I would occasionally become a little sloppy, and when this happened my mother would immediately punish me harshly, so I quickly learned it was easier to not stray. Despite this high level of discipline, I loved and adored my mother. She was not just my mother, she was my mentor, my tutor in the ways of the world, my guardian and my best friend. I worked hard at school and was quite bright, always doing well in exams. By the time I was 16, mother and I were doing many things together. We went to the theater and ballet, which we both enjoyed. We visited National Trust properties and marveled at their artistry and beauty. I had just finished taking my GCSE exams and started the summer holidays when our life turned upside down. We had arranged to spend the day in London and then go to a ballet at Covent Garden. When I came down to breakfast, I found Mother holding a letter in her hand and a look of shock on her face. "Mother, what on earth is the problem?" I asked. "It is a letter from your father's solicitors advising me that he has been killed in a motoring accident," she said. "I really am sorry, Mum, but you have not seen him for 15 years and he has never once been in touch to inquire after his son. I am surprised you seem so upset." "No, Francis, that is not really the reason. The letter makes it perfectly clear that there will be no more money coming from his estate, and as we have been divorced for 14 years, I have no claims, which I can understand. This means I shall have to find a job to enable us to carry on living here. As for you going on to take A-levels, I am not sure we can afford it." "Mom, that's okay with me. I will leave school and find a job." "Let's not rush into doing that just yet," said Mother. "Let me first see if I can get a good job that earns enough for you to carry on with school." The following week Mum had a job interview with a very high-quality cosmetics company, who were looking for someone to do in-store presentations and private house party presentations. The company also did a lot of upmarket promotions in hotels. She looked so smart when she left for the interview. She wore a brown suit with a straight skirt that finished on the knee, tan tights with brown leather 3-inch heel shoes. She had a mixed autumnal-colored printed scarf tied at the neck. She wore small gold earrings, a delicate gold bracelet and similar watch. Her makeup was light and so sophisticated, just a hint of blusher, delicate beige and brownish shadow, just a hint of mascara and eyeliner, a very subdued lipstick that showed her mouth off to perfection. Her nails looked fantastic, painted in a fashionable deep burgundy. She picked up a matching brown leather handbag and headed out. I went to the care with her and opened the door to let her in. "Mother, you look fabulous. You're bound to get the job. Coming from anyone else that would give me a lot of confidence, but you, my son, are biased." She grinned as she started up the car. A couple of days later, a phone call and a letter confirmed Mom had got the job and they wanted to start her training immediately. The training would take about 8 weeks and the salary was reasonable during training, but the potential earnings with bonuses were exceptional. We were both thrilled. We will only just manage to get by on the income during training, said Mum. But after that I think I stand a good chance of earning pretty good money. Mum started the following week, and when she got home on the evening of the second day, I had prepared supper of a ham salad, and when Mum had freshened up we sat down to eat. How did your day go? I asked. I could see Mum was a bit fidgety and wondered why. It went fine, but I have a bit of a problem that you may be able to help me out with. Sure, Mum, if I can fire away. Well, she said with hesitation, we have to find a model to practice our cosmetic lessons at home in the evening, and I don't have any friends who could do it, and frankly, we could not afford to hire a model, so where can I help? I asked. I want you to be the model, she said quietly, looking away from me. I was totally taken aback. But as I thought about it, where was the harm? Okay, Mum, I said. But it is absolutely conditional that this is our secret, and if you tell anyone, I shall quit. Oh darling, I promise no one will ever know. And she rushed round the table and hugged me, kissing me long and hard on the cheek. You are the most wonderful son in the world. Okay, having got that settled, when do we start? I asked. There is no time like the present. Let's clear away the supper things and we will give it a go. Having tidied up from supper, we went to Mum's bedroom, where she opened the company cosmetic case, which was packed with all sorts of bottles, square slip cases, brushes, things that looked like pencils, and long tubes and shorter fatter tubes, and loads more besides. Gosh, I said. Getting to know what each and every one of those things does must take forever. Not if you're a woman, Mum replied. Learn over the years what they are all about. With that, she sat me down with my back to the dressing table so that she could easily apply her wares to my face. I could feel her putting on various creams and powders to my face. From time to time she would wipe them off and start again. Then she did things to my eyes and eyelashes. I had to close each eye as she applied her products. She then started on my eyebrows. Can I pull out a few stray hairs to help me get this to look right? I promise you will never notice. Okay, Mum, that's fine. She then picked up some tweezers and nipped out the offending hairs. It stung a bit, but that was all. She then applied some coloring to my eyebrows before carefully combing them out, and finally she applied some lipstick and asked me to blot it with a tissue. There, Mum said, I've finished. Do you want to see the result? With that she turned me round to look in the mirror. Mum, I look like a pretty girl. And I really did. I was amazed at the transformation. I have never thought of myself as girly in appearance, but what Mum had done definitely made me look like a pretty girl. If it wasn't for my hair and clothes, I could easily be taken for a girl. I'm glad this is our secret, but also, Mum, you are an artist. You are going to make such a success of this job. I love doing it, and I must say I think tonight has been a great success. With that I went to the bathroom and, using soap and the cleansers Mother had given to me, washed off all the makeup. We then watched some television before going to bed. The next few days were the same. I made supper, and afterwards we went to Mum's bedroom, where she tried out different techniques and looks from her daytime lessons. Afterwards, when I went to clean up, I was fascinated at how I looked and how good Mum was at the job. In fact, I realized that I liked the way I looked and started finding all sorts of excuses for not going straight away to remove Mother's work. When we got to Friday, Mum did an exotic evening look complete with false eyelashes and green-colored contact lenses. When I went to the bathroom to clean up, I simply could not do it. I loved the way I looked. I loved the appearance, the feel of the makeup, the weight of the false eyelashes, and the feel and taste of the bright red lipstick. So I just combed my hair into a slightly girly manner and joined Mother in the lounge. Why haven't you cleaned up your face? Well, Mother, I thought you ought to see if your work lasts. After all, you are going to apply this look to paying clients, and if, say, a false eyelash falls off after an hour, they would not be very pleased, and supposing the foundation splits and cracks. So I thought it a good idea to leave it on all evening. You are so thoughtful, Francis, and you are right, it will be a good test. I really enjoyed my evening, because I really felt so good in makeup. I kept on getting Mum a drink or making myself a coffee, just to have an excuse to look at myself in the mirrors around the house. At bedtime, Mom examined my makeup and declared it a success, except the lipstick should have been touched up. In my bedroom, I slowly changed for bed before going to the bathroom to clean up. I really was reluctant to do this because I enjoyed looking at myself and loving how pretty I looked. Saturday morning and after breakfast, Mom suggested we did the makeup straight away and then would have the day to ourselves. Besides, she wanted to do some clothes shopping and she also wanted to get me new pair of jeans as my old pair was showing wear. So Mom set to work to give me a detailed all-day look. This meant fairly natural colors, light eyeshadow and mascara, but red lipstick to make a statement. When she was satisfied, she turned me to the mirror, as always, for my comments. "Mom, you improve every day. I really do look like a girl confident in her appearance and in such a natural way. Congratulations. I wish you were my examiner. I would pass with flying colors. Now go and get ready to go out." So I went to the bathroom and made one final look at my very pretty look and rather reluctantly cleaned away my makeup. We went into town to shop and I had this peculiar feeling that I was not completely dressed. Finally, I realized that I felt uncomfortable without makeup. What an odd and strange experience. We got home in the late afternoon, Mom having got a couple of things, but less than she wanted due to our poor financial position. We also did the week's food shopping at the supermarket and got home in the late afternoon. Between us, we prepared supper and afterwards cleared up together. I then asked Mother if she would like another makeup practice. "It would be a good idea," Mom said, "but it is asking a lot of you to keep modeling for me." "Mom, I really do want to help you, because it is so important you succeed. You are so sweet and kind, and thank you." "Okay, let's have a go at a really sophisticated evening look. But not so heavy it looks tardy." With that, we repaired to Mom's bedroom and she set about carefully preparing the look she had described. When she had finished, she turned me to the dressing table mirror for my comments. The look was fantastic. I looked just like a pretty 20-something girl, except for my hair. "Mom, you are so good at this. It makes me look like an attractive girl who really cares about her appearance. I shall not take it off until I go to bed to keep reminding us both how good you are. It is funny, I now felt comfortable once again because I was wearing makeup weird." On Sunday, we did out makeup sessions straight after breakfast, when a thought occurred to me. "Mom, you know when you finish training you will be doing demonstrations and people will expect to be able to then apply the makeup themselves without your help. Don't you think you should find out whether you have explained things well enough for them to do the job successfully on their own?" "You are quite right, but how can I be expected to know this?" "Well, Mom, you could teach me and then I would try to do what you have shown and between us we would know the ideal way to demonstrate how the various applications work. Although you have done my face several times now, I would not know how to even put on lipstick." "Fran, you are always so helpful and thoughtful. So let's give it a try. Go clean up your face and I will give you a step-by-step lesson in applying makeup." I spent the rest of the day learning the art of makeup. I found it very difficult, which is why it took so long, but I was quite determined that I would learn. This first day was just learning the basics, which meant how to apply foundation, blusher, eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, eyebrow pencil, and lipstick. By the end of the day I could do a reasonable job without Mom prompting or touching up. Mom declared my final effort was better than a lot of women she had seen. Pleased, I did not take off the makeup as I wanted to remind myself how I looked for future practice, and besides I really like wearing makeup, but I could not tell Mom this, well, not yet. The next day, Mom left as usual to her further training. I decided I would practice putting on my facial makeup before doing the household chores. It took me a lot longer than I thought, not having any advice from Mom, but I finally achieved a look that I was satisfied with. I then set about the household chores. I must confess I did look in the mirror more often than was necessary to check on my appearance, and I started to carry the lipstick in my pocket as it always seemed to want touching up. Once again I got this weird feeling that makeup was right for me and it sort of completed the way I should dress. In the afternoon we had a parcel delivery from Mom. I opened the front door, took the parcel and signed for it. It was only after the delivery man said "Thank you, miss," that I remembered I was wearing makeup. As he had not looked at me in a strange way whilst I dealt with the parcel, I could only assume he was sure I was a girl. This pleased me. When Mum got home in the evening, she was looking a little anxious and perhaps a bit depressed. I did not ask why and got her a glass of wine before finishing supper. She complimented me on my makeup and gave me a few comments on things she felt I could improve. I told her about the incident with the parcel delivery. She did laugh, but not with the enthusiasm I would have expected. I had prepared spaghetti bolognese with salad for supper, and when we sat down, I said, "Okay, Mum, what is troubling you?" "Oh, is it that obvious?" she said. "Well, at work today they told us that at the end of the course we must demonstrate to the other trainees and the company examiners various makeup looks. I'm not surprised. Where is the problem?" "The problem is we have to bring our own models, and I can hardly bring my son along. I really don't know what to do." "Mum, that is absolutely no problem at all. You will bring along your daughter." "Fran, you know as well as I do, I don't have a daughter." "Mum, for the purpose of this demonstration, you do now, and you are looking straight at her. After all, from the start I have been your model and I have no intention of giving up the role." "You mean, Fran, you would pretend to be a girl for the day just to help you out?" "Mum, once again I will remind you that I will do anything to help you secure this job. I am your model and as such will carry out any instructions you wish, and therefore I consider acting as a girl for a day is the least I can do for the best mum in the world. So do you agree?" "Fran, I love you so much and thank you. You have got a lot to teach me in a very short time, because I must look and behave with total conviction. Voice, walking, poise, mannerisms are but a few of girly things I have never attempted. For my part, one will practice until I'm perfect." "Okay, Fran, I will teach you all I can. Clothes-wise, your jeans and t-shirt are unisex, so we don't have a problem there." "Stop there, Mum. I don't know a lot about marketing, but I think your company product is aimed at sophisticated women who dress well. If that is the case, they will not be impressed with someone rolling up in jeans and a t-shirt, am I right?" "Well, yes, you are correct, but it would be asking too much for you to do all this." "No, Mum, it would not, because, as I keep telling you, I wish you to have the best opportunity to get this job. At times, Fran, you amaze me. I think you understand things better than I do, so go on, let's go the whole hog." "Only one condition, Mum. This is definitely our deepest secret." "Definitely agreed," she laughed. "Now we have got that out of the way, thanks to you, today we moved on to nails, how to manicure, prepare and treat nails, and then applying nail varnish. As you tell me you are my model, let's get started." We cleared away the supper things and then sat at the kitchen table whilst Mum proceeded to clean my nails, push back the cuticles, rub in some cream and then file them to shape. I have never bitten my nails, but never done anything else except cut them when they got long. It was fortunate they were about to be cut, as they were long enough to enable Mum to prepare them properly, although she did say they would be better somewhat longer. She then applied a clear base coat which we left to dry before applying 2 coats of a beautiful vivid red color. I did not realize how slim and elegant my hands were until the color on the nails drew attention to my hands. When Mum was satisfied with her exercise, she gave me some nail varnish remover to clear my nails. I did remove the polish, but I did have a pang of regret. The next day I went onto the internet to find out if I could train my voice to sound feminine. I was amazed at the amount of information available for cross-dressers, transsexuals, and the like. I found a site that gave assistance and training to create a female voice, and by the time I had finished following the instructions, I felt I had achieved a female-sounding voice. We have a message recorder for the telephone, so I recorded my female voice, and when I played it back there was no doubt that it was a woman speaking. I am delighted. I also noted the various sites that offered advice on walking, poise, gestures, wearing high heels, the way to sit down, and many other movements where men and women differ. I determined to look and act on the specifics that affected my model role. By lunchtime, I concluded I needed an outfit to practice and develop my model role. I measured my waist, chest, hips, etc., and from the internet information claimed to be a size 8 and wearing jeans and a top with no makeup, looking for once like a boy again. I went to town to look at the clothing available in charity shops. At each one I explained I was going to a fancy dress part and all the boys had to dress as girls and all the girls as boys. Everybody believed me. The choice is amazing and they were all very cheap, which was important for the family finances, and I was easily able to find 2 dresses in size 8 which I felt presented the image required. One was a straight knitted dress in black with short sleeves and scoop neck, the hem fell just above the knee. The other was a bright printed dress with puff sleeves and full skirt which fell about mid-calf. The print had a white background and floral vivid color print, very summery. I then nipped into M&S and bought a few pairs of tights and a pack of panties in my waist size. No one seemed to worry that here was a boy buying girls' clothes. When I got home I first applied my makeup and then put on a pair of the panties which fitted fine, pulling in my male parts. I then put on a pair of natural pantyhose and realized I needed to get rid of the hairs on my legs. So I stripped off and went into the bathroom and literally shaved everywhere except the hair on my head. It left me a bit sore, so I rubbed in some body cream my mom uses, which left me feeling smooth and comfortable. I went back to my bedroom, pulled on a pair of white panties and then the pantyhose. I rather liked this. The pantyhose felt lovely on my legs and I could not believe how good my legs looked, shapely and very smooth without appearing muscular. I slipped the black dress over my head and wriggled it down over my body. It felt comfortable and I could move easily. I then realized I had not purchased any shoes. I went into Mother's room and picked up a pair of her shoes to try on. I was delighted to find that we were virtually the same shoe size. I then selected a pair of 3-inch stiletto-heeled black leather court shoes. They were easy enough to put on, although a bit tight, and by concentrating really hard I was able to walk across the room without stumbling but also without any elegance. I then went slowly to Mother's bedroom and presented myself in front of her full-length mirrors. Success for part 1. In front of me, staring out of the mirrors, was a really very attractive, smartly dressed and nicely made-up young lady except for my hair and a lack of jewelry. However, when she moved she looked awkward, butch, clumsy and ineloquent. I went back to the kitchen and made myself a coffee, sat down and analyzed my position. I needed to talk to Mom about my hair and jewelry, but above all I needed to revisit the websites and make careful notes about walk, poise, gestures, mannerisms and all things girly. Then practice, practice, practice. This would also mean talking to myself all the time to get the voice to come naturally without thinking. So I set to work. I recorded my voice several times until I was satisfied that it really did sound like a young woman. I then made a running commentary of everything I did. I practiced walking in my heels in front of Mother's wardrobe mirrors. After about an hour and aching feet, I really was walking like a girl. I then set about developing all the other gestures. By the time I heard Mother arriving home, I felt I was getting close to feeling like a confident girl. I met Mother at the door and gave her a girly hug and kiss. "Well, Mom, what do you think? Fran, you do take this very seriously, don't you? I am amazed, and your voice, where did that come from? You sound like a girl." So I told Mother what I had been doing all day and why I was doing it. "So Mom, from now until your exam, I am going to live, eat and breathe acting as a girl 24/7. But I need your help correcting me whenever you see me doing anything that a boy would do and not a girl. Also, I need your help with jewelry and my hair. You used to be a hairdresser. Can you cut and shape my hair to look feminine but that I can revert back to a boy's style when this has finished?" Mom then went through my hair with her hands, pulling it this way and that. "Yes, I think I can give you a pretty style. Would you like to do it after our makeup session this evening? That would be great." So after supper Mom did further nail treatment on me, this time involving acrylic attachments, which she then painted bright red. She also manicured, filed and painted my toenails using some pads to spread my toes before applying the same color as my fingers. She then did a complete face makeover for an evening look, showing me exactly what she was doing, and asked that I try this tomorrow evening before she got home, as it involved false eyelashes and color contact lenses. She thought it would be wrong to wear during the day, so I was to apply a daytime makeup for further practice. She then started on my hair. This involved some layering and creating a sweeping fringe across my forehead, and then giving some lift at the sides and back and applying some gel and hairspray to hold the style in place. I watched the whole time so that I could try to do the style myself in the morning. When she finished, I looked at myself in her mirrors and was delighted to see not a vestige of my male self. I looked all girl, even my movement and gestures were avoiding any obvious male movements. But I did have to concentrate hard in avoiding any errors. I wanted everything to be natural before Mum's exam day. You asked me about jewelry. You are welcome to use any of mine, but my earrings are all for pierced ears. You could get yours pierced if you wish. After all, they would not be noticed afterwards and would soon seal over. At bedtime, I cleaned off all my makeup but left the nail varnish on. I was just about to undress when Mum popped in and with a cheeky smile said, "I've got a little present for you." She handed me a pale blue baby doll nightdress with matching panties. I quickly stripped and put on this pretty set and paraded in front of Mum. "I thought that would help your image, and I see it does. Your movements are beginning to get quite girly. Keep practicing." I must say, I really slept well. I found the nightdress really comfortable and loved the feel of the soft material against my skin. In the morning, I bathed with Mum's oils in the water and shaved any hairs I could see. I then rubbed on some skin conditioner before dressing in my new panties, nude pantyhose, my floral dress and the heels I had worn yesterday. Even after one day, my feet seemed to be getting used to heels and felt quite comfortable. Applying the day makeup is taking less time and looks better. The problem was my hair, but I eventually got it to look okay, but more work is needed here. I went to Mum's room and added a gold bracelet, watch and a thin necklace, and then a touch of Mum's perfume to finish it off. A glance in the mirror showed just a pretty girl. Mum had left early for work, so after breakfast I set about the household chores. I was interrupted by the telephone. It was the garden center ringing to say the plats Mum had ordered had arrived for her to collect. It was only when we had finished talking, as I was about to put the phone down and the man the other end said, "Thank you, miss," I realized I had used my girly voice without thinking. This was exactly what I had wanted to achieve. I was really pleased. Later in the morning, I decided to go to town. Although this would be the first time I had been outside dressed as a girl, but I was now pretty confident. I borrowed a black shoulder bag from Mum and put in my wallet, tissues and lipstick and caught the bus to town. The driver smiled and called me miss when I paid for the ticket. I really do find dresses comfortable and easy to wear, and I love the silky feel of pantyhose on my legs. Once in town, I got my ears pierced, coming out with gold studs and instructions on cleaning the piercings and turning the studs round for a few days. I went and tried on some dresses, just for the fun of it. I really did like a couple of them but could not afford to buy. When I got home in the afternoon, I realized I had been wearing heels all day, and although my feet ached a little, I could put up with it. I prepared supper and then went over my girly tutorials and went to practice in front of Mum's mirrors. I still have to remind myself what I am doing, but it definitely looks more natural. I cleaned off my day makeup and spent some time putting on the evening look. I struggled a bit with the false eyelashes, but other than that everything went fine. Without thinking, I did pluck a few more hairs from my eyebrows to give them a better shape. When Mother got home, she made a few comments on my makeup efforts but was generally very pleased. After supper, she did some various effects on my face and different manicure effects as well. When we had finished, we went to the lounge and watched some television. Mother sniggered at one point. "What was that about?" I asked. "Oh," she said with a smile, "I was just thinking, I wonder if SHE will get me another drink. I really am beginning to think of you as a girl." Mum, I can't tell you how pleased that makes me feel, because that is exactly how everyone must see me when you take your exams in a few days' time. The next few days were very similar. I always sleep in baby doll nighties and do my makeup and hair dressed in one of my dresses. I find I now finish by looking in the mirrors, not to see if I look like a girl, but whether this girl is properly dressed and groomed. My pierced ears healed over nicely, and I wear some of Mum's earrings every day. I have been into town a couple of times and I found a lovely denim mini skirt in a charity shop, very cheaply. I tried it on with a black top and black pantyhose, but felt my legs looked better in nude pantyhose. When Mum got home, she told me there was not a girl out there who would not love to have legs like mine. So the following day when I went to town, I actually rolled up the waistband on the skirt until it was just inches below the top of my thighs. I even had to put on blue panties as it is impossible to sit down without people seeing my knickers. I know I should wear flat shoes, but I cannot resist wearing heels. I saw people looking at me, both men and women, and always smiled if I caught their eye, which usually meant they turned away in embarrassment. Finally, the day has come for Mum do her presentation to the company. I wear my printed dress, but we will take along the black dress if we feel it will help in any of the looks that Mum is asked to do. I am also wearing white panties, nude pantyhose, and have borrowed a pair of 4-inch pant leather shoes from Mum. For the first time for a long while, I have no makeup up on and feel almost not completely dressed. Mum does my hair for me and I add some jewelry, including a lovely pair of drop gold earrings. Although I am wearing no makeup, I look totally like a girl. Take a good look, Mum. This is the last day for you to have a daughter, I tell her. I know, says Mum. But I have really appreciated what she has done for me and I will always be grateful, whatever the outcome today. We then left to go to the presentation. When it comes to Mum's turn to do her demonstrations before the senior management and the directors, she introduces me as her daughter and she then proceeds to do the makeup looks as shown on a sheet handed to her, explaining all the while what she is doing so that a prospective client would clearly be able to follow who to do it themselves. She also had to do my nails, just once. There were 8 other people doing presentations and all of them had brought along professional models. When we had all finished, we were taken for tea in the company restaurant whilst the examining panel deliberated. Each person was then called in turn to be told the outcome. When Mum came back, she was looking somewhat flushed and I wondered if she had failed. She came over to me. They said it was one of the finest demonstrations ever to be done. They were particularly impressed by my explanations, which are thanks to you. The salary deal and bonus looks better than I thought and they will be giving me a list of appointments within a few days. This bit will amuse you. They asked if my daughter would be interested in a 3-month contract to work with me as they are short of models and thought that you were exceptional for a non-professional model. She grinned and said, I told them I would ask you, but was certain you would turn it down due to your educational commitments. Hold on, Mum, I said. Think about it, my A-level studies can still be done whilst I am doing this modeling and we could most definitely do with the money. But I thought you wanted to get back to being my son as soon as possible. I am quite happy to put that on hold in the interests of family finances. If you are okay with this, let's go and talk to them. Mum passed on the information and I had a chat with the administrator of the work Mum would be doing. The offer was a good fee for each demo I attended and in addition I was offered a very generous clothing allowance. I signed the appropriate modeling contract as did Mum, as I am a junior still and I was immediately given a check to purchase some new clothes. Looks as though you will have to put up with your daughter for at least the next few months, I laughed. Actually, I have to confess, I was going to miss her. It has been fun having her around. I wore my denim mini skirt and t-shirt with nude pantyhose and black 3-inch heels. I kept my makeup to a minimum with just a hint of blusher, eyeshadow and mascara, and I used a natural colored lipstick with a gloss on my bottom lip and I painted my nails a light pink. The result was a girl who looked my actual age. At breakfast, I said to Mum, you know, I think it is time we let everyone know what is going on. After all, we cannot hide from everyone we know what I am doing. So long as they realize the reasons for it, namely in support of family finances, I think everyone will go along with it. If they don't, then I think perhaps they are not our friends anyway. I agree, said Mum. I will ring my friend Sophie, she is easily the best gossip we know, so word will spread like wildfire. Fine, and I will ring Alan, who has a reputation similar to Sophie. So after breakfast we both made our telephone calls and explained why I would be acting as a girl for the next 3 months. Having set the wheels in motion, we went out to expand my wardrobe with the clothing allowance money given by Mum's firm. We bought a range of articles to cover the various looks Mum would be demonstrating, and this included day wear, evening wear, young people and fashionable people. So it was mostly dresses, as we felt this fitted in with the presentation. We didn't buy any shoes as Mum's fit me so well, which meant we could increase the number of dresses and still be within budget. We did add some matching pantyhose and I added some panties. Within a few days we had a schedule from the company giving us an average of 1 appointment per day, with odd days of 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. We did some at special shows and exhibitions, several private demonstrations at well-to-do people's homes and many at department stores in connection with their cosmetics departments. They really went down very well, and Mum found that several reports back to her company were exceptionally favorable, especially the way she was able to show people how to do the makeup themselves. Mum's bonus looked very good. For my part, Mum always introduced me as her daughter, and very soon I forgot thinking that I was anything else. I was just an enthusiastic, attractive girl who loved to dress prettily. As the weeks went by, I was able to buy more clothes from the money I earned, as well as some jewelry and shoes of my own. I put all my boy clothes into the attic to make room for my new clothes. I have bought some night dresses which I love wearing, they are so soft and silky. I never wear trousers as I find them uncomfortable compared with skirts and dresses. People we know seem to accept what I am doing on a temporary basis, and most are impressed at how good I act the part. At weekends I often go out with friends either to eat, a few drinks in a pub, or clubbing. I am frequently chatted up by men, particularly one outfit I wear. It is a hipster mini skirt, so short you can see my panties when I sit down. This is combined with cop-cut skinny rib top revealing a lot of midriff. The actual skirt is only 7 inches long. I love all the attention I attract. Sometimes the men come on too heavily, but I find if I then tell them I am only into girls, they go away disappointed that I am a lesbian. I have let my hair grow and now use Mum's stylist weekly. She has given me a much softer, wavy feminine look with a fringe to improve the shape of my face. She teases me that my hair now looks so good I will never want a man's cut again. It was towards the end of the 2nd month of my contract that we had just done a demonstration of evening style makeup at a quality department store. I was wearing a simple but stylish LBD with black very fine pantyhose and 4-inch patent leather stiletto heels with ankle straps. I really do look good in this outfit, and Mum had done an exceptional job on my face. My hair was really good and I was wearing some long drop earrings, and I had painted my long, well-manicured nails bright red to match the lipstick Mum was using. I know I looked stunning, and this gives you such confidence that you relish showing off your beauty. After the demonstration we were chatting to the cosmetics staff at the store when the head of the department came up to me and gave me a card and said this lady would like me to telephone her, and she was sorry not to have been able to speak to me tonight, but she had to leave for another appointment. The card was from Samantha Williams of the Model Agency Limited. I thanked the lady and slipped the card in my handbag. The lady from cosmetics said, "Do you know who she is?" "No," I said. "Should I?" "She runs the world's #1 model agency. No show in Paris, Milan, New York or London could go ahead without her models. Anyone who is on her books is guaranteed to make a good career from modeling, and several have made millions. You should be over the moon that she is interested in you." I wasn't expecting that, Thank you for the information, I said to her and went in search of Mum. I explained what had happened and showed Mum the card. Her eyes went as wide as saucers. You mean, the Samantha Williams wants to see you? It appears so, I said. Do you think I should go and see her? Well, if you really feel comfortable continuing your modeling career, you would be mad not to see her. On the other hand, I would understand if you wanted to go back to your normal self. I don't have any problems with my current self, so I will ring her in the morning, I told Mum. I spoke to Samantha Williams the following morning and arranged to see her later in the day. I decided to wear a simple, plain light navy knitted dress with 3/4 sleeves and a hemline that finished a couple of inches above the knee. With this I put a black belt, navy leather shoes with 3-inch heels and white fine pantyhose. I wore a thin gold necklace, gold bracelet and watch and gold drop earrings. I kept my bright red nail color, but my makeup was more that of a teenager with light mascara and pale gray eyeshadow. A hint of color to my cheekbones on a natural base. I wore a neutral lipstick with a light gloss on my bottom lip. Mum fussed all over me until I had to tell her to stop as she was making me nervous. I put a couple of things in a navy clutch bag, grabbed an umbrella just in case, and caught the train to London for my interview. I entered this very impressive building in Mayfair some 10 minutes before my appointment and went to the 4th-floor suite that housed the Model Agency Limited. I announced myself at reception to a stunning slim redhead who told me Miss Samantha would be with me shortly. Some 20 minutes later the receptionist told me to go to the office 3rd door on the right where Miss Samantha would see me. I entered this reception room and sat in one of the soft white leather armchairs and waited another 20 minutes. Finally the door burst open and in swept this 50-something woman, impeccably dressed in a silk beige suit, beige heels, bare-legged, a red printed silk scarf to her neck and no jewelry at all save a small watch and pearl earrings. Her makeup was reserved but impeccable and her nails were dark burgundy. Sorry to keep you waiting so long and thank you for your patience. To be honest, I did not have time to see you today, but I was so impressed when I saw you yesterday that I felt it important to grab you for an interview as soon as possible before others started talking to you. I assume you want a career as a model as you would not be doing the demo work I saw yesterday. So tell me a bit about yourself and your ambitions. This was clearly a very, very powerful woman. I am nearly 17 years old and despite my current appearance, I am a man. Miss Samantha did not bat an eyelid. Well, go on, she said. I explained how I had come to today's situation by helping Mum obtain her current job after our finances had completely disappeared. When I had finished, Miss Samantha asked, "Do you like the work you do? Do you enjoy looking and behaving like a girl, and if the opportunity arose, would you continue in the role? We have several androgynous models on our books, so your appearance and sexuality would not be a problem." I confess that I am now at ease with the way I appear, and if there is a reasonable opportunity for me to make a successful career appearing as I am now, I would not have any problems, I told her. Fine, here is the deal, Miss Samantha told me. We will sign you up on a 1-year contract. Most of the time you will be presented as a woman, but we reserve the right to offer you as a male model. We will give you an intensive 1-month training to model on catwalk and showroom modeling. In addition, we will prepare a professional portfolio of you for prospective clients. We take 25% commission on all you earn and you will work exclusively for us. I cannot guarantee any work, but, frankly, I do not think we will have difficulty in finding you regular engagements, and I would estimate that you will earn in excess of £500,000 in your first year. You will be self-employed and responsible for your own tax affairs. Do you want to sign up to commence as soon as your current contract finishes next month? I am interested, I replied. But I will need to discuss this with my mother and she would need to sign the contract as I am a minor. Of course, she replied, I will have a contract drawn up and emailed to you, and you will have 7 days to return or the deal is off. With that, she shook me by the hand and swept from the room. I prepared to leave, somewhat taken aback when a young lady came into the room and introduced herself as Ms. Samantha's PA. Don't worry about the way she seems to treat you, that is the way she is with everyone. I have to tell you that she does not make such a decision like yours very often. She is very impressed. I left and made my way home. I explained to Mother the offer that Samantha Williams had made to me and asked her what she thought. Well, Fran, it will mean that you will appear more looking like a girl than a boy, and it will also mean, should you be successful, that everyone will know your true sex and all that is involved with the way you are likely to appear. Whatever your choice, all I can tell you is that I will support you. I grinned. Mom, I actually like this androgynous appearance, I find it fun. I love dressing this way, and I am delighted that there is no pretense about my sex. Later that day the contract arrived and Mum faxed it over to a solicitor to check if it was okay. The following day the solicitor confirmed the terms were reasonable and we duly signed together the contract and returned it to the Model Agency Limited. After the month completing my contract with Mum's company, who were disappointed that they could not re-sign me, on the Monday morning, I reported to the model agency for my 1 month's training. I really could not decide what I should wear, but eventually I decided on a red floral, full-skirted short-sleeve dress. The hem fell below my knee. I wore black stiletto-heeled shoes with a 3-inch heel and white very fine pantyhose. I kept my makeup to a minimum with just a light base and delicate blush, a little black eyeliner and mascara with a neutral shade of lipstick. I brought a hold-all with several changes, tight skirt, mini skirt, flats, even a pair of trousers. I was introduced to a small team of instructors who would teach me how to pose, demonstrate clothes, and how to parade on a catwalk. In addition, I would be shown all the procedures that happen at a fashion show, including who prepared hair and makeup, how my clothes would be organized, and many other things. They were fantastic and knew so much about this trade and were terrific at tutoring me in all matters. No one was in the least bit concerned about my sex and just treated me as a colleague. I loved the whole experience, and they told me I was a natural and would easily find work, and they felt sure that as soon as I had done a few shows, I would be in great demand. Towards the end of my training, a photographer was brought in to photograph the images to be included in my portfolio. One of the training team assessed my best features, and she and the photographer agreed that my legs, eyes and hands were the outstanding areas and should be emphasized in my portfolio. A makeup artist did my makeup, a hairdresser prepared my hair to be shown in several different arrangements, and a manicurist prepared my hands and applied nail polish. Although I felt they had all gone over the top and I would look like some drag artist, when I saw the photographic proofs, they were absolutely fantastic. Everything looked natural but showed off each aspect of my features to perfection. I got my first potential assignment the following week. To model for a London, West End dress manufacturer as house model for their current collection. This would be 2 weeks' work. I went for the interview and showed my portfolio, which was accepted, and I was given the assignment. The work was simple. When a potential buyer wanted to see a design worn, I simply put it on and paraded the design. It was simple enough and got me the feeling of how the system worked. Next, I got a couple of assignments during London Fashion Week with 2 smaller designers for catwalk work. This was much more hectic. You report for fittings, then rehearsal, then makeup and hairdressing, and then the show. You are assisted by a dresser, but must make sure you get the right order for showing the designs, and the time allowed for changing is very small. But I loved it. I strut down the catwalk with the whole audience looking at me, while the outfit and me. I realized I am an exhibitionist. I really like people staring at me. I think this may have always been the case, and it is perhaps why I was so determined to help Mum with her makeup demonstrations that has led me to this wonderful career. I must have done well at London Fashion Week, because I was soon inundated with fashion show work as a catwalk model, first in Europe and then all over the world: Milan, Paris, New York, South America, Japan. Nearly all the work was for women's fashion, but I did do the occasional menswear shows. I much prefer the women's because of all the hairstyling and makeup, and the variety of clothes is better. When I first started to travel abroad, I had some fun at customs, as I always wear a dress or skirt. I really do not like trousers. The first time I presented myself in front of a customs officer, I was wearing a pencil slim gray skirt with the hemline 4 inches above the knee, matching jacket, white blouse, black stockings and gray leather 4-inch heels. I have full makeup, bright red lipstick and matching nail polish. Fortunately, my passport photograph shows me with long hair, plucked eyebrows and earrings. The customs officer queried my sex, but accepted my explanation and let me through. This does happen fairly regularly, but I quite enjoy sorting it out. I have also gained 2 very lucrative photo modeling contracts. One is with a firm of branded hosiery manufacturers. I model all their designs for advertising and for the display on their packets. Part of the contract says that I must wear only their hosiery products, except where fashion shows demand an alternative. They supplied me with a huge quantity of their range, including thin pantyhose, thick pantyhose, hold-ups, patterned pantyhose and stockings in a variety of colors. I was told just to contact them if I required additional supplies. I have never worn stockings before, so I shopped for some suspender belts to try these. They felt funny to begin with, gently pulling as I walked or moved about, but having worn a pair all day, I did find they were really more comfortable than pantyhose, not getting hot and sweaty round the crotch area. The trouble is many of my skirts would show stocking tops. The other contract is with a cosmetic company that provides an enormous range of nail varnish colors. I model all the hands for advertising. About a day a month is needed for this work. Again, they supply me with endless colors to use and generally add matching lipsticks and loads of other cosmetics they produce. I love it all. I have made an awful lot of money over the last 2 years. Now being 19, my finances are my own to control. I send Mum a check every month, which she protests that she does not want. I have suggested she could now give up work, but she so enjoys her job with the cosmetics company that she has no intention of stopping. I have bought a flat in North London, as most of my work starts here. I passed my driving test and am now the proud owner of a yellow Porsche. The insurance is outrageous, but I can afford it. When not working, I socialize a lot with other models and those connected with the fashion industry. I am accepted with who I am and nobody seems to be concerned, I am delighted to say. I still really love my lifestyle and get up with enthusiasm every day. When at home, I still get up very early, go and wallow in a scented bubble bath, then gently towel myself down and check there is no body hair. There usually isn't any, as I have had extensive electrolysis and my legs, face and arms are totally devoid of body hair. In fact, my skin is so soft and smooth, I love to stroke my face and legs. After bathing, I return to my bedroom and select my outfit for the day. I have several enormous wardrobes, as I am a total clothing shopaholic. Today I am not working, but need to stock up with food and domestic items, so I am off to the supermarket. I select a denim mini skirt with wide black belt. The skirt is ridiculously short and hipster styled, the hem falls just 3 inches down from my crotch. I team it with a long-sleeved skinny rib top, black fine denier pantyhose, which I have to roll down at the waist to come below the waistband of the skirt. I wear a pair of lovely black panties embellished with red rose outside my pantyhose, as I know I cannot bend or sit down without showing my panties in this skirt. I put on a wonderful pair of black leather boots that come to a couple of inches below my knee. They have pointed toe caps, 4-inch steel stiletto heels, and the leather is ruched up the legs. I parade in front of my full-length mirrors. At least my knickers don't show when I am standing and walking, I know this simple outfit will turn heads, but I am such an exhibitionist, I will love the attention. Next, my favorite time of the day. I sit at my dressing table and apply my makeup. Today fairly light, but I spend a lot of time on my eyes with eyeshadow and mascara, combing, shaping and penciling my eyebrows. I have applied a light concealer and foundation and blend in a little blusher to highlight my cheekbones. I finally apply a light natural lipstick. My nails I did last night in my color of the moment. It is like coal that has had red dye rubbed in and leaves a shiny finish. My hair just requires brushing through as I attend a very expensive hairdressing salon every week. My natural-looking wavy hair falls to my shoulders, with a fringe on the front of my face. I final check in the mirror. I look so pretty. A cup of coffee and a slice of toast and I am on my way, grabbing a shoulder-strapped small black bag as I leave. It is a mild day, so no coat is required. I leap into the Porsche and am off to the supermarket. I push my trolley round the supermarket, knowing that every time I bend, my knickers are in view. Yes, a lot of people eye me up, both men and women. If I catch their eye, I smile sweetly at them. Most are very embarrassed and turn away, but the odd one smiles back. There is quite a queue at the checkout and I resign myself to the wait. Shortly afterwards, another girl joins the queue. She is stunning in looks, with raven black hair, slim, wearing little or no makeup, but with a gorgeous complexion. She is wearing very tight jeans, which show her beautifully shaped legs and bum, and a cowl-necked red sweater. I smile at her and she smiles back. "Great day for queuing," I say. She laughs. It seems to be the same whichever day or time I shop. "Do you come here regularly?" "Yes," I reply. "When I'm not working abroad, which is pretty frequently." "What's your job then?" she asks. "I'm a fashion model." "Ah. That's why you dare to wear an outfit like that to go shopping." "I would never dare wear a skirt that short, but on you it looks fabulous." "So, what work do you do?" I asked. "I am a solicitor, but I have only very recently qualified. I enjoy the work, but at the moment, I only get the more menial legwork." We chatted on for some time until, finally, I was at the front of the queue. I wished her goodbye when I had checked out. As I packed my things in the car, I thought what a stunning girl that was and kicked myself for not making a proper introduction. The next weekend, I went off for my normal weekly supermarket shop-up. I wore a lovely two-piece outfit in navy, with close-fitting lapel jacket and straight skirt finishing about 2 inches above the knee, 4-inch navy court shoes and nude stockings. Overdressed for shopping, but quite conservative for me, that is until you see I am wearing bright red nail polish with matching lipstick and very pale makeup, very 1920s. I am halfway round my shopping, when a familiar voice says, "Well, hello, we must stop meeting like this." It is the gorgeous girl I spoke to last week at the checkout. She is wearing the tightest jeans again, but teamed up with a very fine rib-tight black top that shows her petite breasts off to perfection. "Hi," I say. "Lovely to see you again. Look, how about we have a coffee at the store cafe after we finish shopping? The way my name is Frances, but everyone calls me Fran. I would love that, and I am Erin. See you shortly." We met after shopping and really get on very well together, so much so I invited her over to have dinner with me the following Saturday as she was free. I am in Milan next week but will be back Thursday night, giving me plenty of time to prepare a meal. I cannot wait. I really like this girl, but cannot see her showing any sexual interest in me, the way I present myself. But that is something I would now find practically impossible to change. The following Saturday, I prepare our dinner of smoked salmon followed by a pasta dish with a salad, before changing into a simple black dress that finishes at the knee, black seamed stockings, black patent shoes with a 5-inch heel so slim it must dent the wooden floor in my house. I haven't worn evening makeup for such a long time. I really enjoy applying all the exaggerated look with highlighted cheeks, dark eyebrows, and taking forever to do my eyes, with false eyelashes, swept back eyeliner and graded eyeshadow of blues and grays, dark blood red nails and matching lipstick, a spray of very heavy perfume to finish. Erin arrives about 7 in the evening. She is wearing a lovely pair of black tailored trousers with 4-inch heeled leather ankle boots, which the trouser bottom covers. She has teamed this with a red turtle-necked long-sleeved top, a little gold jewelry to highlight the subdued clothing. Her makeup is simple, natural lipstick, light mascara and just a hint of blue eyeshadow. We settle in the lounge with a glass of chilled Chablis, and having exchanged the usual pleasantries, I ask her, "Erin, is there a man in your life?" She smiles and looks at me in a coy manner. "Actually, I am not into men, if you see what I mean." "I hope that does not offend you." "For goodness sake, why should it?" I exclaimed. I come across all sorts in my profession and I know several lesbians. Let me rephrase the question. Is there someone special in your life? She thought for a moment and then said, "No, not at the moment, but I hope that it will change soon." "What about you, anyone special in your life?" "Perhaps I should explain," I said. She raised her hand. "Stop, I know what you are about to tell me, but, you see, I know already. I checked up on you via the internet and I know you are a man, and that really turns me on." She walks across the room, takes me in both hands and pulls me up, before throwing her arms around me and kissing me sensually but deeply on the lips. I respond eagerly and soon we are again on the sofa feeling one another and kissing deeply. I put my hand on her firm pert breasts and find her nipples incredibly sensitive. She squeals in excitement whilst thrusting up my skirt and stroking my, now stiff manhood. She pulls back with a twinkle in her eye and smiling says, "This is what I have always wanted, a beautiful girl with this between her legs." "I think we should eat before we get too carried away," I suggest. She agrees and so we go and eat the meal I have prepared. After we have finished and tidied up, I take her by the hand and walk her slowly to my bedroom, where we slowly strip one another's clothes until we are naked. I then experience the most wonderful love-making ever. Exhausted, we cuddled up closely to one another and slept. After that night, Erin and I met regularly and usually ended up making love at either her flat or mine. Erin was always smartly dressed, but always, it seems to be, in trousers. One evening, as we were kissing one another goodnight, I asked, "When we meet tomorrow, will you wear a skirt or dress?" "I have only ever seen you in trousers." "That is probably because I only have trousers in my wardrobe. You see, being a lesbian, I felt I would never attract another girl unless I looked a bit masculine," she told me. I like the thought of a really glamorous lesbian. "Will you indulge me?" "Wait and see," she said with a sly grin. Just caressed my lips and was off.